I'm muted. That would help. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? Happy Tuesday. We are going to have some open conversation tonight, closer to the end of the call, or closer to the middle, I guess. But if you are in the Healthy Hustle chat, you know that as a whole, I think the team wide, everyone's like, what are we doing next? Right? Like, the Healthy Hustle chat, if you're not in there, it's like pretty much once you've hit Star Club, it's a push group kind of. And there's a lot of different teams in there and a lot of different people. So if you're brand new, it's probably not something I would have thrown you into because we already have so many chats and so many groups. So the general consensus is what the heck is coming next? I think for all of us, we have really kicked off Clean Slate and it's been amazing. It's been so fun. I think this group has been probably the most engagement out of any group that I think we've ever ran, like team wide. It's been awesome. And that's because every single person played a role in it and every single person showed up passionately to it and every single person took so much time on their post and spent so much time inviting to it. So good job on that, you guys. I just have to say that because it's been really fun so far. Um, so there are three director level leaders on this call. And all of us are always kind of working in the background for you guys as a team. Doesn't matter who sponsors you, like we're all kind of just working together to be like, what are we doing next? And how are we going to roll this out, right? So, um, I know that Heather and Katie have a bit of a plan, not a bit of a plan, they do have a plan. And I'm hoping that they will share some of that with us tonight. Um, and Amber and I were able to take on the coffee shop and just like have a master brain dump session of like, what do we need? What are our barriers? What do we have to offer? What is everybody passionate about? Okay, show of hands or drop in the comments if you're not on camera. How many people saw Melanie's call about sharing your staple or sharing your story? And I know I dropped it in a lot of different chats today. Okay, so quite a few people. And it was such a good call for kind of what we were brainstorming for next. Because, show of hands, how many of you liked that we offered bundles for Clean Slate? I did. I thought it was awesome because people, it wasn't like, here's this expensive package and get the whole thing or bust, right? It was like, here you have options. What's important to you? And so when we were kind of talking about like, what is next, we were like, we want that to keep going. That idea of number one, bundles, and number two, what is important to you? Anyone on this call ever had a conversation where you're inviting to something specific? Because I can tell you this happens to me all the time, where I'm like, hey, we're inviting to this wellness group. And then they're like, hey, thanks so much for the invite. I am curious about maybe some vitamins or some home cleaning products, but I'm not actually interested in like the supplementation for wellness at this time. And it's like, oh, no, 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 we have that. Like, we have that. We have that. Don't go anywhere because, right? But you haven't opened that door. And when we start to invite to something very specific, it's twofold. The good thing is we're inviting to something specific, right? We are like, this is the problem that we want to solve for you. So this is what we're offering, and this is the group that we're running. Would you benefit from this? Right? That's the benefit to inviting to something specific. The downside to that is we are losing the rest of our potential prospects and community because we are ruling them out, right? And that's okay. The joy of this company having over 300 products is that we get to reach so many more people. Um, I know like Amber, I wish Stacia was on this call right now. Stacia has found her niche with skincare. I don't know, I never know if I'm saying that right. But like those two girls, I like really channel my inner them when I'm talking skincare because they're so good at talking about it and it's personal to them, right? Like their sales have been amazing and they skyrocket that. So like I know from talking to Stacia today, she's like, I I feel so much more confident inviting to a skincare group because I've used it and I got results right away. Whereas like all this wellness stuff, I haven't actually tried it yet. I'm starting with the rest of the group. I'm new, you know? And so it's like we all have our thing, right? Our thing that we love, our thing that we have an easier time talking about. Like Heather, she talks about hormone. Katie, hormone health, like gut health, right? They're so good and passionate talking about those things. And like for me, if I'm not talking about like my colitis, I don't feel that. Like I'm not as connected to that why, right? And so that's kind of what we wanted to channel for this next group. And so when Melanie did her live and I saw it, I was like, this is perfect because our next group is going to force you guys to start talking to people more, connecting with more people more often, and not to be like, do you want to do this one group? But this is what I'm doing. This is my journey. How can I help you?
I'm working.
Right?
Go.
So how can I help you? What is it that you need, right? In the old body days, we called it a pain point, right? So like when you have a pain point, it's like, well, I want to lose weight. Why? Well, because I don't feel good. Why? Well, none of my clothes fit. Okay, what would it mean to you if your clothes fit? Well, I would have more confidence, or I would play with my kids more, or I wouldn't be so tired all the time, or maybe I'd want to be more social. Like that's the pain point, right? It's not about losing weight. It's the I'm not confident in my own skin. I don't feel good and I want to play more with my kids, right? That's the pain point, right? So, all of this to say, we have brainstormed a pick your path group. Not really a group. It's not even really a group. And so what our idea is, and this is not set in stone, okay? This is just a project that we kind of brainstormed and I've been working on, working on so hard and I laugh because I'm like ready to pull my hair out because I'm not good at Canva and so it's been a serious learning curve for me. But this is our idea. Okay. So for pick your path is something we're going to start inviting to right now. And so, again, I'm going to come back to this, right? This is our tracker. I have realized I'm 2 days in, and wow, the holes that I have. Okay. I am not nearly sharing enough about my new Shackley journey or what I have to offer, or sparking new conversations, or asking people what they need. Okay. This tracker in the last 48 hours has changed the game for me. So, this is what we need to get back to. This is basics. Okay. This is like our businesses are built on the foundation of communication and talking to people and building relationships. Okay. So, pick your path. Essentially, what we decided to do with this is instead of running a group, because the end of March and the beginning of April is tricky with spring break. And so a lot of times what we're running into, and we're again brainstorming barriers, is I'd love to do this group, but we're traveling, so that won't work. I'll catch the next one. Right? So how can we make it so that people are enrolling and we get those sales and those that volume going, right? Because a lot of people have big director goals here or big rank advancement goals here, and still give them an incentive. So depending on how many people, and if we need more people, I might even drop this in the Healthy Hustle chat too and just see like who's interested. Because the more people we have doing it together, the more money we have in the pot, right? We always kind of donate money. We use it as a tax write-off. And so what we're thinking is the last weekend of the month, instead of running a group, we're going to do a full weekend of raffles and giveaways. It could be cash giveaways, it could be cash back um into like their next purchase. We could get creative. It could be an Amazon gift card, it could be a gas card, it could be literally anything that we want. Um, and you can decide as an ambassador, like let's say you have 10 people who want to do the pick your path option. You can do your own giveaway for them, right? That's always fun too, to have like an extra incentive just for your people. But every day for the last weekend of the month of March, so the 28th, we'll start then, that's a Friday, 28th, 29th, and 30th, we're just going to be blasting people with giveaways. Okay. So how do they get in? I'm going to share my screen and please know, you guys, this is not like done. Okay. Because every time I think I'm close to being done, I'm like, shoot, there's too much more to add. And I think it's because I'm almost like recreating the website. But what I was attempting to do was create a menu for people, right? So, in order to incorporate a pain point and a focus on how to help people, it's like we have those conversations and then we get to like, what would you benefit from? Right. So part of the menu is like energy, right? Like, look, like I'm just going to use Heat and Amber as examples. Like their kids have been going through it with sickness, right? Maybe they're like, I'm not going to start a wellness journey because my kids won't stop fricking throwing up. Okay. Like I can't catch a freaking break. So immunity is my goal. And yes, I want what you have to offer because I would literally pay anything for my kids to stop barfing on me, right? Yes, I would literally do anything, right? That's the pain point, okay? So try to create multiple pages of a menu, a pick your path menu. So when somebody says immunity, you know you're sending the one that has the immunity stuff on it, just like a one pager instead of all 3 or 4 pages of the menu. Like, okay, here you go. So any $50 purchase gets them in. And basically, what we're thinking of doing is just a chat, like, or even a group like this is where it's open for discussion, right? So, like let's say we did the group option, but it's not really a group. The group is not running for a week or 2 weeks. It's just like a weekend of giveaways, right? But we have the group open early, and so as people get in, we shout them out. Maybe we even have some customers show what they got, so other customers are seeing what else is out there, right? Oh, I didn't even know you had that. And so we're kind of just showing people all the different things. Like this is just a wellness space, and we're just having fun getting what we need, picking our path, and doing giveaways. And then boom, it's done. It doesn't impact people's spring break. It's not a group that people have to commit to. It is you're literally picking your path. You're doing at least $50 buy-in for whatever that is, and you're automatically entered into the giveaway. Okay. So that's the first one. And so I'm just going to kind of show you. And again, please, I really do. I'm not good at Canva. Okay, so I'll just show you this. This is kind of what I have so far, and it's taking forever. But this is like the pick your path. So we have our wellness objective at the top, which is like non-toxic living. So we have clean home, beauty, skincare, body, men's grooming, and hair, right? This is not a full list. And so you need to tell people like, there's so much more on the website, right? If they're like, well, I see that you have this, but I'm really looking for this. And then that's when you go do your research. Like, do we have that on the website? I was trying to highlight like our main things, right? With like men's grooming, it's easy. There's just like three or five things, right? Skincare. I'd be building pages of skincare forever and ever. And we could do that, but I don't know if that's like a great use of my time. So I kind of just picked like the things that we as a team love and talk about. We've got some Pomifera, some rose oil, youth line stuff, bundles, single, a la carte options. And then we've got like beauty. We've got the Simply 5 on there. We've got the mascara, all of that. And then we've got the clean home bundles and then breaking it down into like individual a la carte options. Okay. So then the next one is energy, sleep, and immunity, and that's very basic. And so this page needs some work because I understand that like so much with the gut is tied to these topics. So I think this would be a good option to have like gut health on here, but again, open for feedback. Um, and again, the next page, wellness objective, full family health. And this is where we've got vitamins, we've got our kids line, we've got another immunity section, we've got hormone health. Again, we could put like weight loss on here. We could do the reset, the cleanse, adding all of those on there, like nutritional options kind of. And then gut health again could fit on here. So this is kind of where I left it. And unfortunately, this took me an embarrassing amount of time. So, it still needs more work. Obviously, it's not like very beautiful. I don't love the colors, but like, okay, I'm just trying to get something out here for you guys so you can kind of see like what we're thinking. Okay. So that's pick your path. That is group option number one. Okay. Here's group option number two, because what we don't want is to go a full month and not have a deadline mid-month because we know that most people enroll within the last 2 days, right? So, pulling back on my calendar, here's where it's like, I wish people could give more information earlier on so that we could kind of plan what we're doing. But um, so we had the case for clean. That was yesterday. That was a really good call. So you guys have that great recording to send out to people. Now, Melanie has her own call, the spring cleaning event. Okay. So starting tomorrow, she has put on her monthly calendar, start inviting. So my guess is her resources for that group will be released in like a Google Drive by tomorrow. And it will be like, 1, 2, 3. So we don't have our director call tomorrow, right? So she must be like putting it out in the team. Like here's the Google folder, here's the Google Drive or whatever. Because she put on her calendar that we were going to start inviting to it. So here's what we don't know. Is that group going to only cover cleaning products? We don't know that. Because when I asked about it, it kind of sounded like it might cover cleaning, like clean home, laundry, maybe a little dabble into skincare, right? And so until we have that information, we don't totally know exactly how to get into this option number two. So here's the idea. If you've been around long enough, you know about the extravaganzas. We had one for Black Friday, we had one for the holidays, and they were like these huge groups where like Melanie Mitchell would like put on this like call essentially, and it was like a shopping event. And this is not going to be run like that, but on the back end, we're going to hype it up as if it is. Okay. So we are going to make one chat as a team, like our team right here, our downline team. Okay. Not like everybody in the world, just our downline team. Um, and we are going to put everybody in a chat who wants to come to the call. They don't have to buy anything, they don't have to commit to anything. But hey, if you're curious about non-toxic swaps and this spring cleaning event where we're going to go over all that Shackley has to offer you, home product, I mean, this is where we don't know, home products, laundry, skincare, like whatever comes out, and you want to be in this chat, we're going to put everybody together, all of our customers, okay? Or non-customers, whoever. They don't have to be a customer, right? Because we're not asking for them to buy anything. So we put them all in this chat and we are going to be hyping this call up. Okay. So you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13 ambassadors in the Zoom room right now. Imagine us in the chat hyping this call up and dumping our customers in and all the reminders and all the fun. And this is going to be a great call. And then on the day of the call, we drop a bomb of, oh, and by the way, we're giving you guys something awesome. Like there's going to be raffles, there's going to be fun. Like this is going to be an event, right? So what we're thinking is so the the spring cleaning actual event. So we have from tomorrow until next week, Wednesday, the 19th, to invite to it. Okay. Any purchase that is made originally when Amber and I were kind of like thinking up this plan, we only knew that it was cleaning products and that it was going to be the uh get started clean. I don't remember what it's called. The cleaning bundle. It's like comes with everything. Um, so anybody who purchases a bundle, like a cleaning bundle, if that's what's covered, between the 19th and the 23rd, which is a Wednesday through a Sunday, right? Because we don't want to rule out our weekend warriors where like big sales happen. We are going to enter them into a raffle, another raffle. And what we're going to do is we're going to be raffling off laundry bundles. So you enter with clean home, you get entered to win laundry. So again, introducing them to something new. Now, a full laundry bundle is like 40 bucks or 50 bucks. It's like very cheap, right? So let's say we typically have like 12 to 15 ambassadors in each group. Let's say we have 150 bucks. That's like, at least three laundry bundles that we're raffling off to people. And that includes like the detergent, the fabric softener, the bright white. I always call it bright whitener, but that's not what it's called. It's like the brightener, whatever, color boost or whatever it is. Um, and I think the laundry sheets, but it's like an a la carte thing that we're putting together. And like the total member cost for it is like under 50 bucks, but 50 would cover like shipping and everything. So it would be a fun little way to like introduce them to something else that's like clean home, right? Um, so that would like we would have a deadline of like the 23rd. It would be like 7 p.m. We would not be like going till midnight and we would be doing those raffles that day and being done with it. Okay. So those are the two ideas that we have put together right now. Um, and they are very focused on talking to people, talking to them about what's important. Okay. So this is not like we are doing this and do you want to join us? Right. So, but on the flip side, I know Heather and Katie have been working really hard on something that is more, I'm going to call it pain point focused. If you want to share about another option for inviting to for this month.
Yeah. So when I was talking to Cassie yesterday, Katie and I were kind of just discussing over the weekend because Katie made a lot of sales after we already closed enrollment for the Clean Slate group. We're not really ready to be done with inviting the Clean Slate. So, what Katie did actually with Courtney the last week of February was switch up her invite because she actually wasn't getting a lot of results from an invite that we were sharing a lot in the group. And she kind of just tailored it to what works best for her and what works best for like her specific pain point, which is hormone health, gut health, and protein. And what she ended up calling it is the, hold on, gut and gains group. So she kind of sent our group like what exactly she was doing. It was the exact same thing as Clean Slate, you guys. The exact same thing. It just is a different name. And the priority for this group is exactly what it is, guts, so gut health and protein, and focusing on those things that we're already focusing on anyways. Then there's a lot of energy around it right now. There's a lot of momentum around it right now. I'm not ready to be done with it. Katie wasn't ready to be done with it. A lot of our girls were still really wanting to focus on this because another thing, it's similar. It's not the same. I'll get there in a sec. Sorry, I'm a squirrel right now. It is going to be more heavily emphasis on like protein and what it does for your muscles and what it does for weight loss, what it does for gut health, what it does for hormone health. It's going to be a 5-day group starting on March 31st. So it gives us all month long to still invite to it. It is going to be a short and sweet group to start or end March and start April. The goal, in my personal opinion, is always to like think of what's next. For me, I'm already enrolling into this group. I already have people that are like, yep, I'll be paid on Friday. I'm ready to go. I know me and Katie and the rest of the girls that are interested in it still kind of have to decide, do we want to open a chat now to get people into it? Or do we want to do it in a 5 day group? We haven't figured out those logistics yet. My thought process is I want to keep it as basic as humanly possible. Probably just do a quick chat for it because it's going to only be 5 days. I will personally probably do some kind of giveaway for the people that enter into it. It won't be anything crazy. I'm thinking just like gift cards for different people that are actually participating and engaging in the information. We're really just focused on like maybe a muscle group for each day and talking about the importance of protein for that part of your body or something like that. And then another day, the importance of using a probiotic and what it does for your digestive system, what it does for your skin. So that way it's a plug for things in the future so that they might be interested in skincare in the future. And really, I think what this all kind of ties back to, guys, is making the consistent sales. To be super honest with you, the one thing that I talk to Cassie about very consistently is PB. And I know some of you guys are new to like what that actually means. And I don't have like a fear or anything like that because I talk about everything. You guys can watch my stories. I talk about the cleaning stuff. I talk about the skincare. I talk about my products every day. And one thing for me is I emphasize what sells for me personally. I talk about my story with weight loss, with gut health, with hormone health every day. And I probably talk about it to a point where people are sick of me. And that's what you do have to do. In order to make sales, you have to talk about it so much. And I was even telling Cassie this, that why Amber I think is so great about selling skincare and the makeup products that we have is because she talks about it consistently. She shares her story. She shows how she applies it. She shows the before, she shows the after every day. And I watch it. I watch every step of it every day. And so for me, I'm like, if I cared about makeup, I would buy that. like, like it being honest. Honestly, that's where I get my sales is by being authentic to what matters to me. And it attracts people that also care about the same things that want to work on the same issue or problem that I might be having, but maybe in their own way. Um, the point of this group specifically is going to be kind of just a continuation of the clean slate opportunities. It's going to be focused around Life Shake and a probiotic primarily. We will have the add-on for the metabolic boost. We will have add-on still for Energize, Collagen, and Rest and Rewind. It is gonna also be like we're kind of thinking of the last time me and Katie talked about it, we were thinking of doing like a light, medium, heavy because it's gut and gains. So we want to like have that little play on like light weights, medium, heavy weights, blah, like whatever salesy thing that makes sense. I'm making the graphics for it tomorrow. The other thing I really noticed this last month is the graphics just made it easier to sell. It made it so much easier to sell when we could say in the graphic, I'll send you a visual here in a sec of the different options that you can choose from, but we can also mix and match it up to make it work for you. I think that really made a difference. And I know for a fact, and I'm just speaking Katie into existence right now. I know for a fact Katie's sales came because she switched her language and her verbiage up a little bit at the end of the month for people that did not give a crap about a meal bar, but wanted the protein and the probiotic and metabolic boost. And so we're not being as strict about how they get in the group as long as they get a protein and a probiotic. I am a person that will always upsell. I will always upsell. I didn't sell a single Life Shake last month that was less than 28 count. I will never sell a 14 count unless somebody is on a tight budget. Um, so that's something that you also want to think about. And I'm just going to put this plug in and I hope Cassie doesn't mind. Please, please remember Don't overemphasize things that are not working for you. Do not spend all your time talking about makeup if you haven't sold a damn thing all month. Talk about something that somebody's going to care about that you care about. If you care about makeup and you're just not making sales, then ask your upline to get into your conversations with you and figure out what's missing then. If you care about the cleaning products and you're just not able to sell it right now for some reason and you can't make that sale, talk to your upline and figure out what it is in your conversations that are making it harder for you to sell it. Are you talking about it consistently? Are you sharing what's working for you? Are you showing how it's making a difference? I know for a fact in back when we started in like October, November, once Amber like sent me the pictures of her dishwasher detergent and how it worked for her when she used it the first time, I used those things on my story every single day and I sold like 15 bags of the dishwasher detergent with a wellness bundle. So this is kind of just me reminding you, like, just because you love one thing doesn't mean you can't do another, and talk about the other things you're using. One day a week, I walk through what I use every day. I walk through my dishwasher detergent, my laundry detergent. I take them with me, show them my skincare routine. And I don't do it in a weird way. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. This is what my day is like, doing my skincare, blah, 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 blah. Move on, go switch the laundry, show them that I'm using the powder, put it in, switch, go downstairs, load the dishwasher, load it in, take my supplements, like do a day in the life. If you're like me and you literally have everything shackly in your home right now, show them how you're using it throughout the day. Maybe make a reel about it, make a post about it, make a story about it. Be consistently showing how you're using things because that's what's going to make a difference in your sales. I have people that will look at my storefront consistently, and even though they're getting a gut health bundle, they go on and then they add the dishwasher detergent and then they add on the microfiber sponges because for some reason they work really well and I talk about them. And they like will add on, like they'll be like, okay, so does the laundry detergent actually work? And I'm like, yes, it really actually does. And I haven't bought a new container of it in months. So like that's a big deal for a family of six, by the way. So that powder lasts forever. And I talk about it because I haven't had to buy it since November. I have a huge box of it still. And so I just want to remind you, like, plug into the things that sell, plug into the things that also generate the most volume and income. That's something I talked to Cassie about also. I don't overemphasize every single day nonstop about the cleaning care because a $150 bundle is like 45 PV. I would rather close my rings faster and sell a gut health bundle that's 160 PV and add on a few cleaning things to their order that they might be interested in and make that 160 PV turn into 250 PV. You know what I mean? So talk about things that make the most sense. If you know you can sell a crap load of cleaning care, by all means, talk to a bajillion people and sell a ton of it. Um, but make it make sense for you and make it make sense for your followers and just be authentic about it, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really glad. I was just pulling it up because I wanted to check the PV on that. I guess I could look at because I sold one last night, but um I'm so glad you said that because if you're somebody who is struggling right now or you're feeling like okay, I'm actually so glad that you said something because so many people on this team are in the messy middle right now. And what does that mean? It means you joined this business, you saw the vision, you created a dream, you created a plan, you absolutely love what this company stands for, you're obsessed with the products, but you haven't reached that level of success that you wanted to see yet. And maybe you're feeling defeated. Maybe you're starting to ask yourself, like, is this even for me? Am I even good at this? Right? And that's because you're in the messy middle. This is where people quit, right? Because because it doesn't feel as exciting as when they first started. And so if you are finding yourself in the messy middle, get back to basics. Work and use your tracker like it is your freaking daily Bible devotional, right? Like use it, find your holes, figure out what you're not doing, and more importantly, get back to what you love. That's exactly what Heather was just saying. Like, this is what I tell my new people who come in and they're like, there are so many groups. There are so many options. I'm totally overwhelmed. I say, pause. Pick one thing that you fucking love and go share the shit out of that. Right? So if that's you right now and you're like, I don't know about guts and gains, I don't know about wellness, I don't know about laundry, I don't even like laundry. I like skincare, right? Like maybe you're just like, I freaking like skincare. I love it. Or maybe you're like, I don't know about any of that extra stuff, but I like Life Shake, Energize, and collagen. That's fine. Whatever it is that you love, you need to use it and share the shit out of it. So here's one thing I will say. So I feel so blessed to be invited to this six-figure mastermind group that is running for 90 days. And it is led by Sarah and like Jamie Fitzpatrick and like people who are very successful in this business. And two things came up on we've only had one meeting. Two things came up, tips from the top is what I'll call it. Number one, the highest, most successful people in this company talk to their customers, solve a problem for them, and get them on loyalty. I couldn't believe that that was one of two top tips, loyalty. But when you are somebody who's building a team and you have customers and you're bringing on new ambassadors, you have to understand loyalty. You have to use loyalty. You have to get your whole team on loyalty. You have to get your customers on loyalty, and you have to understand it enough to know how to explain why it helps your customers, why they want that, right? It's free money. And Heat, if you guys missed this call, Heat did a fabulous training on loyalty. It's posted in the team page and it's going to go in my next team newsletter that I send out because it really does a great job of just like explaining it. Um, but that's nonetheless. So that's number one. Number two is, and this was like a moment for me because, like Heather said, I use all this stuff and I don't show it every day. They said every single time your hand touches a Shackley product, you are sharing it. Every single time. I don't do that. I have gotten away from that. Ever for the last week, I've been trying really hard to share my Energize. I take Good Gut and Go every single day. I put collagen in my shakes every single day. Sometimes I share my shake, but I'm not sharing that I'm putting collagen in, right? Like really sharing if a product touches your hand, share it. And I mean in your stories. So if you're somebody who's like, I'm talking to people, but I am not sharing, you are missing so much volume and so many sales and talking to so many people, right? The only way to get better at it, the only way to kind of overcome that fear, if you have a fear, is to do it and to practice it. Okay. And then it gets less and less scary. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. I want to open the room. So does anyone else here feel like, hey, none of this really sounds like great for me? Like maybe I want to run like a cleanse group, or maybe I want to do the reset, or maybe I want to do something different here. Pick your path doesn't sound like if you're somebody who loved clean slate and inviting to clean slate, and pick your path feels Like if you're somebody who needs a conversation flow to be able to get through a conversation, that's okay. Like if you're personally sponsored by me and you want to join like Heather and Katie's group, do it. Like if Amber says, "Hey, I've decided the last week of the month I actually want to incorporate a skincare group. We weren't counting on it, but I'm getting a lot of interest, so I'm going to do that." Great. Do it. Whatever you love and you're passionate about. So I want to open the room. If you guys have new ideas, like if you guys are planning to run your own group, like you can do that, right? You don't need permission. You don't need, like, I use Kim as one of the greatest examples. She came in as a new ambassador, and I was like, this is the group we're running. And she was like, I'm not doing that. She was like, I'm starting with the cleanse. She got three of her girlfriends together. They had a group chat. She ran the heck out of that group. Her results were insane. She lost like 27 pounds or something like that. Incorporated Life Shake and then hopped in on the next group because she felt like it it was a good in alignment with her coming off the cleanse, right? Clean slate. She did that. So I use that as a perfect example because she was in the building for 5 seconds and she was like, this is what I need. So this is why it's important to me. And people feel your energy when you talk about what you're doing, right? If I'm like, I'm so excited we're gonna do a get ready in five group because we're gonna sell a bunch of makeup bundles, people would be like, bitch, your eyebrows are permanently on your face and your lashes are done. Because you hate makeup. I'd be like, ooh, yeah, you're right. Like that's right. That's true for me, right? But so yes, 7 day healthy cleanse. Yes. So does anybody want to speak up? Does anybody have any new ideas? Does anybody have questions? Does anybody have thoughts? Do you like the pick your path? Do you like the guts and gains? Do you like the skincare raffle? How we doing? Where are we
I
at?
wonder, am I really loud?
Nope, you're good.
Okay. I wondered if Heather, you still like constantly run the hormone healing groups or no? I'd like to invite to that. I'm really into like the stuff like that's all I share about in my stories is like the supplements and I think that's really that or the gut and gains group because I do the life shake and like all that daily and share about
Perfect.
it.
I think what
Perfect.
like Cassie also wants you guys to like know, like, yes, hormone health is always going. If you notice, I always change it to like the next month. And me and Katie have been really trying to keep like constantly putting in like our meals and things like that. So that's always going to be an option because all of the material is already in it. Like it's already there. So it doesn't need to be like a super involved group every month. So if you like hormone health, like that's there. I literally added three people last month to hormone health and I just tagged them in the guide and said, here you go, babe. Let me know if you have any questions. I do it all the time. I do it I follow gut health that in hormone health. That's what I do. So for me, I just am like, there's the guide and point them in that direction. It's something that's kind of hands off. Um,
It runs itself.
Yes, I don't have to do literally anything except for when I want to add more content to it. I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought. So,
So if I did like have someone purchase like the bundle, is it the same bundle? I
yeah, and
that you
if you have found like for me, I've been dabbling in different stuff, trying out like new ways of taking my supplements. I have other health issues I'm dealing with right now, so I had to stop taking one of the supplements. So I share what I am taking and I added in a different one. So I've actually added in the liver detox to my lineup, but I talk about it. I talk about it with people who ask and I talk about it in my stories. So as long as you're sharing what you're using and like show what you're doing and talk about why it's important to you, that's going to start the conversation. And when you're inviting to what's important to you and you have passion around it, people are going to be interested. It just happens. I think it's like a law of life or something. Like when you care and give a shit about something, people also care and give a shit about it. So That's the way that I do things. And if something's not as important to me, I just don't talk about it as much. So
So if I get someone that wants to be in the group, do I just talk to you? Like if they buy the
just
stuff
put them,
and
just put them in there
or
and
just
tag.
add them in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Is it
Is
just
there
the
a
chat
start
or that's
date?
the whole group still, right? Facebook.
It's already started for the month. It started last week.
Okay.
Yep. So when I was inviting to it, I just told them, cool, it starts on March 3rd. I'll tag you in the guide. Let me know if you need any help. Like it's not like
Like a
a,
resource group.
yeah, it's more of like an informational group. It's not like a challenge or anything like that. It's not like a
It's like a
prize.
place for support.
Yeah, it's just a place where resources and information are. That guide is extremely comprehensive. So I don't reinvent the wheel unless I have to add more information to it.
So
Thank
it's like
you.
if you want to start your hormone health journey, here's the group. All the resources are in there.
Mhm.
Would love to help you as much as little as you want me to be hands-on and
Yes.
okay. Anyone
I
else
have
have
just a
any?
question
Yeah.
about that.
Mhm.
Is it like a Facebook group or is it just a chat?
The
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 hormone health.
It's the same one that we opened in January and it has a chat attached to it. So when you get into the group, there right at the top part, you can enter into the chat too.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hmm?
I
Anyone
also like
else?
the menu
You
that
do
you
like the
showed.
menu?
Yeah, it looks like a restaurant menu and
That's what I
it
was trying to
excited
go
me.
for. I was trying to go for that, but then I'm like, it's so boring.
Oh, I didn't think it was.
You didn't?
No, I thought it was fun. It's
Okay.
like you can like pick what you want, like breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Yeah.
or like
I don't know
dessert,
why I'm so
snacks. Like,
frustrated with it. I like sent it to Amber. I'm like, I hate this. She's like, no, it's great. I'm like, every time I think I'm done, I'm like, I'm missing it. I'm missing gut health. I'm missing nutrition. I'm missing, it's like and I don't want to recreate the entire website, but it might be kind of nice to have for the future. Like if even past this point, if somebody's like, well, what do you have for this? Instead of being like, well, here's my link, go shop. That's overwhelming. It's like, well, here's this one pager for
yeah, I was about to say, what about
community.
like a limited menu?
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
But
I like
I
that.
struggle with limited because I'm like, but what about this? But what about that? I'm just adding. So yeah. But
Yeah, I
thank
like
you.
it. I thought it was
Thank you.
fun. And I think I'm
Okay.
gonna start doing hormone too, because I'm
Okay.
almost 40 and that's like an issue. My
Love
metabolic
it.
boost should be here any day now. So
I love that. Anybody else have like a
Yeah, I
thing
just
that they're
need from
finding?
you, Cass, some clarification because
Yes.
so I just want to make sure. So when we were talking about the cleaning raffle or Mel's call, right?
Hmm.
Let's just say it's cleaning because that's what we were thinking.
Hmm.
We had talked about like a $50 purchase. Like if they had spent $50 on whatever the cleaning stuff that they were like talking about, right? From the 19th to the 23rd, that's what they're gonna go in the raffle for. But you said the whole cleaning bundle tonight. So I just want clarification.
I don't think I can say. I think $50 is just fine because we
Okay,
don't
I just
even
wanted
know
to make sure.
what's
I just wanted to make
yeah.
sure.
And I wish I could say for sure. I just don't know. Like I don't know what she's gonna cover in that call. And when I
Yeah,
asked for clarification, she just kind of said, hold please, because
right.
I think her and Sarah planned the same group and didn't
And
communicate.
didn't,
And
yeah,
then they both
100%.
presented and they were like, wait, what are you doing?
100%.
You're doing that?
No,
So
that's fine. I don't care like the price. I just wanted to make sure the dollar value because
I mean, up
50
for
bucks versus
discussion.
the
Do people
whole
like
cleaning
that?
kit
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
lot
And who
different.
knows? Because then if it's sold out, like it always is, then we
It
can a la
always is
carte
sold out.
build our bundle. Yeah, I was seeing it's back ordered now. And I just had somebody get it last night, but it's
100%.
probably on back order from the call last night. I'm trying to see how much PV it was.
what's on
Um,
back order?
He said 50, right? Yeah, 50.
Amber, what's on back order?
The
54.
whole cleaning kit, like the whole caddy bundle thing,
Oh,
but it's
okay,
all
okay.
available a la carte. So you can just build the entire bundle. I had done that for my
That's so
sister, and
weird.
it's actually cheaper if you just build, if you literally put every single thing in it, it's cheaper than the whole bundle.
It is,
So,
and it's
And do
more.
you just like not get the caddy?
More
Is that
no,
why?
PB.
caddy everything. I
Oh,
got her everything and it's still cheaper. So,
It's
okay.
just
cheaper and it's more PB.
mhm,
How much PV
That's
is it? Do you know?
weird.
When you do it all separately,
mhm.
I don't know off the top of my head. I had somebody do it at the beginning of last month and
But it's definitely more than 50
it's
PV.
more than 54 PB.
Mm-hmm.
They add it all separately.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. So
Hey,
just
I
build
did
them
that
one.
too. I was gonna say I did that too. I used mine. This is Jaleesa, by the way. But I was gonna ask about the cleaning too, because every time I tried to purchase it, it was on the back order. So I've been using my loyalty points too from it. But I've enjoyed it. And I was gonna ask too, is anybody going to do like a cleaning group? Because I've had a lot of interest in just like the cleaning products. So if
That's what they were talking about, having like the a la carte, have the cleaning as an option for the pick your path. And that will, right? And then there's going to be a short one.
So
but
there's
when's the
two.
start date though? I guess
So
for the
it's
group.
not a group. It's not a
Okay.
group because as we were kind of going through and talking about like it's not a group that we're like running for a week
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's like, what do we do for the group? Do we just highlight products or we like go clean your house every day? Or like, is it like a spring cleaning group where it's like literally, if you're ready to get your shit together and get your house cleaned up, let's do this group. We're going to take a week. We're going to spring clean. We're going to do all the things that like, we could do that. Like this the sky's the freaking limit, babe. So like if you're like, I have a lot of interest in that, you can do that. What we were thinking is, and Amber texted me before the call started, and she's like, well, didn't we want to not put the cleaning category on the menu because we're doing the spring cleaning right before, and so we want to like basically what we're avoiding is one purchase can't count for both. It can't count for the spring cleaning raffle and it can't and then count for pick your path, right? And both options, both the spring cleaning raffle and the pick your path weekend raffle group giveaway idea, um they're not groups. Like they're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not groups that run as groups.
Right.
Yes, that makes sense. Thank you for explaining that.
If you want to do that, I mean, do it. Like really, the sky's the limit.
I
Yeah. Does
don't,
anyone else have any thoughts or?
my big thing that I want to just emphasize for everybody, because I love that Cassie talked about how Kim came into her business and she was like, I don't like that. I'm doing what I want to do. This is how I'm doing it. This is what I'm going to do. And then she was like super confident because she did the cleanse on her own and she killed the clean slate challenge, like adding people to it and had a phenomenal month.
Hmm.
If you like something and it doesn't sound like any of these things, I talked to Cassie about this yesterday. Like, find your thing, like Kim did, and like other people have done, and just do it.
Hmm.
Take ownership of it. This is your business. And I know it's fun to do things sometimes with a group of people because it is fun. Right now, the clean slate is so fun. Like, I'm really enjoying it. And that's why me and Katie were like, not quite done with that yet.
Right.
And we transitioned into another group. We can kind of like just roll into another. Emphasize what you love and just do it. And whether it's on your own and getting a couple friends, or maybe there's somebody else on here, get into the Shackley chat and say, hey guys, I love all the other ideas that we talked about, but I actually really want to do this. If you want to do it with me, let me know because I'm starting in a week. Like, don't wait. The worst thing you can do is wait. If you have something you already know you like, do it.
Or if there's something you're curious about trying too, like Jess, you were talking about how your mom is maybe interested in the 5-day reset. Like you could literally, okay, and I just want to say this too. It doesn't have to be a Facebook group with a cute cover photo and all of these scheduled posts. It can be a text thread with you and your mom and your cousin and your best friend, and everybody's doing the 5-day reset. Perfect. You and your husband, your best friend and her husband, your cousin and her wife. You're like it, put them in a text thread. Like Stacia is a perfect example. She has like she's doing the clean slate group, but she also has a text thread of like her and her five, it's like her sister and her and three friends, like doing like hyping each other up. Like that is personal, it's small, it's
Mhm.
private, it's fun. Like that's all you guys need. That's a group. You and a friend, that's a group. That's you running your first group. Anybody have any other thoughts, feedback, questions? Do you guys like this plan?
Yes, I do like the plan.
Good. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Any
Um,
anybody feel uneasy about any of it? Everyone feels good about it. Okay.
I love all the options. Like it sounds like a lot, right? But the thing is, like, you do not have to join every single group, right? Like
No.
I love that there are so many different options right now. Like
Hmm.
he and Katie got their thing, which you guys are like the top dogs on that. Like, yes, like you guys are in that, right? Like that is your niche. I love that. I love that there are so many different ideas right now and more people, right, are starting to say, well, I really want to do like a group like this or like that. It's like people are starting to find their thing, starting to find their voice, find their confidence, right? And I love that.
Another thought I was having too, and I don't want to do this personally, just pregnancy and Pringles and things, but like spring break is coming and people want a 7-day cleanse and a 5-day
yeah,
reset.
I was going to say that. I noticed like a lot of people go on vacation, obviously during spring break. March is
Yep.
usually the time where I think college goes on, and then April is like
Yes.
when the
High
other schools go
school.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
At
I,
least in Michigan.
well,
I
yeah.
know Heats is a little different, but
Absolutely. But like the 5-day reset before the trip, or like um I've talked to a couple of my family members who are going out of town, and I'm like, hey, you know what? You should try like a 7-day cleanse or a 5-day reset. Um, just to, feel good and get your body ready to go for your trip.
hmm yeah, and
So that was
even
something
just
I was
like
thinking about.
yeah, and even just like marketing like hey, if you're super busy and you're getting ready to go on vacation and you don't want to meal prep, try the 5-day reset. It's
Yeah.
more volume, right? It's 5 days of everything that you need right in a little box to your doorstep, right? You can add in as much as you want. You're not restricted. And that is a fun way to just like put you and a couple of people into a group and be like, let's do this reset. And we're going to do it right before spring break and let's go.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes. 8:58, y'all. 8:58, y'all. We did it with 2 minutes to spare. Okay. That's it. I'm gonna stop the recording.